Hello, my name is Rudy Carlsen, and for over 25 years I've been building startup. I started as when it was possible to have a company. When I was 18 years old, I have a quite unique background. I went to the army when I was 16 and started with sales as my own agency as a solidary, solidary entrepreneur, and built myself up from there. So I've been on the telecom revolution. I've been an IP operator, and I'm also the founder of Apps Maker Store, a DIY platform for drag and drop no code for anyone to create their own mobile application, which I've run for 15 years, that were translated to 24 languages and had 1 million sign up globally. So I sold that company last year to a competitor, and I started a company called the Academy for Artificial Intelligence here in Norway. I'm also involved in several old startups, and I'm also working as a coach, advisor, and stuff like this. So today I'm going to talk about the AI revolution and what I think about what kind of product and strategy you should have if you're planning to build a startup. There's a website for this, and it's called There's an AI for that. I use this myself. We were also listed there. I started following it. It was just like, I don't know, 600-700 or something like this. And as you can see now, it's like 34,000. I believe it was last week, it was 33 something. So there's a lot of AI tools coming constantly. And I want to show you some of the evolution. For me, this is just the same things that I saw when SaaS came around, when mobile apps and no-code platforms, website builders, low-code platforms, and AI is just like the next thing, and it's just a bigger enabler for a bigger market. But as we know, the mobile smartphone revolution was also quite big. So I was one of the early ones there, and yeah, so it was a funny time for sure. And it will also be a funny time for some now, but I also think there's a lot of people now that cries, and that happens every time ChatGPT or other of these big platforms release upgrades that actually make your startup irrelevant. I found a couple of them. So I did a search here on this service. I was searching like voice to text. Yeah, so it was like a product, probably a startup, yeah. I just tried to type in. It doesn't work because this functionality, as we know, everyone takes for granted, is already included. I found this other one. It's OCR. It was like in the early days of ChatGPT, you had the ability to read PDF so that you can work with it in ChatGPT. So they just closed. Yeah, many variants of this, all of them more or less are closed. Yeah, let's say this one. It's it's some company here that open that make you communicate with Google Drive. As you can see now, you can do that very easily yourself. There's also a new functionality where you can actually talk to the data from what I could see. So yeah, so these guys have moved into, let me see, to develop an AI agent that can assist customer service in terms of scaling. Okay, so that's for sure. That's sure an area. And I can tell you this, I was the first one in Norway building. I always been building sales agents, sales organization and stuff like this when locally when we building organization. But I was thinking like, let's be smarter this time. So I started building a booking agent that will call a lot of customers. So the first problem came out when we were it's like this. I can show you. Yeah? So if we go into like the company house in Norway and we make this company here and we take this one, you can see me there, but you can't see my direct number. And we have another service here, similar to the yellow pages, where you have this one. So if you type in my name there, you will not find me. So that means that you need to call to the central board, you need to sell 2 times to come to me and stuff like this. So what we actually did was that we set up like an AI voice agent that we're calling, but we discovered that it had so many problems with when every time it came to menus like press 1 for sales, 2 for this, this. So it start pitching. So therefore I made an application where we did the API integration that we're doing like a check, take contact name from company house, find the direct number, and then we added that into the flow. So of course that was much better because we reached the person directly. But then in February this year, Telenor added more stricter because of all the scam callers, and of course we can't have a situation where 10,000 phone calls are coming to you every day. So they block this, so it's like identifier. So it was a cat and mouse. We then had number rotation, but then I just said, listen, I think this market, and I knew before we started, it will be just for a short period of time. First movers, it's closed, let's move on, go back to traditional sales representative, sales agents that I've been very successful with previously. So that's where we're at. But to talk about this startup, how this is relevant, you know, I think then still, these guys, for example, I don't mean to talk shit about them or something like this, but scale your affiliate in marketing. Okay, if it's based on incoming first and then following up, okay, it's a good thing. But yeah, they went from this failure, and I think it's potential that it could be another failure. I'm sorry for saying. And the reason for this is that I was thinking myself about, okay, now this outbound, cold outbound is over. So what if we had a product for incoming? So you called in and then you could like have the AI voice agent. And for sure, I think that would work. But then again, I went to this, recently I was on this Google event, and it's like in their top 5 trends for 2025 is customer service. Customer service is just as a wide terms out there. And you can even see ChatGPT trying to move into sales. So what do you think they will do with customer service? It's just obvious that all of them will come with it. And if they don't do it, I think the telecom operators like Telenor delivering this service with press 1, 2, 3 and so on, they will include it. So based on that, I stepped away from thinking in that direction. So that's also my point with this. If you're an entrepreneur, if you want to run a startup, I think you need to think, the first thing you should do, as long as it's involved anything that has to do with AI, is that, is there a possibility that these big companies and models will just have included for some time? If it is, you should not take the risk. That's my view. You should niche down. I can give you an example of how I could see this incoming voice model still work. Okay, so let's say that you did this in Norwegian market. So here you have we have something called bank ID. You have the similar all over the world, I think, most places. It's a way that the person can identify himself when they're using public services, the government portals and stuff like this. So, of course, if someone is calling their doctor and you have an AI agent answering, you can't give away details. But it could work in this way, like the customer calls in, talk to an AI agent. The AI agents needs verification that you are you, then trigger an SMS, goes to the customer or the user, whatever you call them, and the user identify himself. Then it triggers this yes or no is approved, and then you can have access to your data. So that's such a niche down, that probably like OpenAI wouldn't be like specifically interested for that in Norway or the UK or whatever. But the bigger the market, the bigger the risk, you know. But then again, if you did something like this and you did it specifically to close data in a specific software, a dental software or stuff like this, you could for sure make it work, you know. So, and also I'm seeing a lot of this. If you go and play around in here, it's quite funny actually. There's a lot of good things also, yeah, but we don't get anything by just applauding like, oh, this is great. I also did a lot of mistakes in my life, and this is why I'm making this video, to give you guys some tips about that. And I can't remember if I said it or not, but I remember from the app days, it was just a lot of this gold digger, we used to call them. So they came in, no knowledge about the industry or the domain whatsoever. They're just like, oh, there's Tinder. Okay, let's make Tinder for this and this, yeah. Or Snapchat for this and this, and yeah, it was a lot of this. So the startups I always have seen and believe in the most is not necessary from a technology point of view, but it's just like people coming in like, I'm a chef, we have this and this, is there a way to make it better? You know, this kind of approach where you really knows what's going on. Because if it's a mobile app, if it's AI, if it's a SaaS, who cares, you know? You need to focus on the problem itself and what you want to solve. It's like the technology itself, it just needs to be there. And with AI now, there's a lot of possibilities, but my view is just like, don't think so much about the AI, think about the problem you want to solve. And then talk with someone that knows this specter, and if you don't have so much knowledge yourself. There's also quite funny to see there's a lot of this wrapping that's been wrapping. So suddenly it's just like, it's not just a CRM company anymore, it's just like, we are an AI company now. So what they did is just they made a new front page on their web side, and it's just like, type in what you need, and it triggers like a simple connection to their old system. Yeah, some of this can still work for sure, but a lot of them will be catched up very soon. So when we take a look on services like this, and was also when I was thinking, when I had apps makers, I was thinking, how can we compete, you know? You have services like this, is like Gamma, I've been using it for a long time, like make me a website for I'm going to take something else, for a car shop in Oslo, for example. Yeah, I would of course write more. So when you have services like this, this is the easiest way. It's just like a totally non-code builder. Is great for presentations, stuff like this. Okay, just go ahead. But you also have like services like this now, and here, this one, and yeah, I can show you this. I was making earlier. Just basically just type in and start coding. You know. Let's use the same one to see how it goes. Yeah. Okay, so here this started creating the website. Great, fantastic. And yeah, so this is not only for presentation, you can also make it as a website. We actually did it ourselves in the afki.no, Academy for Artificial Intelligence, where we're doing like AI advisement and stuff. Yeah, so of course I would work some more with it. But my point is, it's not this. It's just like, when I saw tools like this, so for example, when we had the Apps Maker Store, it was limitation because we only had like, although it was huge, it was like so many hours, 15 years, can you imagine? Yeah. So, but here you can just like write, I need this gadget for this and this, and it will just start to code. And with the new update now that came with ChatGPT 04 Mini High, you can do the same there, you know. So you can make like a design and you can preview it. Let me see if I can find something to show you guys. I was actually testing it, you know, so it's just like, and they just bought a website also. Let me see if I can find this one. Yeah, and you have everything with images there now. Of course, you can create funny pictures, stuff like this. So yeah, my it's back to my main point. If you want to build your startup today, give it some good reflection. You need to look into the future. And if you have any comments or views or tips and whatsoever, feel free to comment. I'm looking forward to hear from you, and thanks again for watching this, and I hope it can help you some on your way.